Carl the Complainer story, please? Page 231, 230 and 231. Right, where's your reading street books? Alright, when you're there, you shouldn't be talking, you should be sitting quietly so I know you're there and ready to learn. Julia, put that away, please. Alright, we're going to go ahead, we're going to listen to the story today, and after the story, we're going to answer some questions. So when we're reading the story, I want you guys to follow along with your fingers and you're paying attention, so that if I pause it, you can answer any questions that there are, okay? Daylin, can you tell me what we're doing? I'm sorry? Can you tell the class what we're doing? Good job. All right.
Carl the Complainer, written by Michelle Knudsen. My friends say I complain a lot. They even call me Carl the Complainer. But hey, some things are just so annoying. Like TV jingles that get stuck in your head and paper cuts. It's 5 o'clock, the time the town park closes. 5 p.m. is way too early for the park to close. I complain for about the millionth time. We turn down Dale Street. At least we've got a town park, he goes on. Look, I know, I say laughing. Look on the bright side. Dale starts laughing. Keep it down out there, Dale's next-door neighbor yells. Sorry, Mr. Henry, we both call out. We go into Dale's house. I show Dale a cool website, but an ad pops up, then 4 more. Pop-up ads are so annoying, I complain. I start clicking them all closed. Wait, says Dale, there's a petition to save Power Friends. I want to sign it. I love that show. Why bother, I say. The best shows always get canceled. It's so annoying. That's what the petition is about, Dale explains. If the network sees that lots of kids like the show, they might keep it on. Can anyone start a petition? Dale shrugs. Sure, I guess. Why? Maybe we should start one, I say. A petition to keep the park open later. Great idea, Dale says. But how do we do it? There's always the internet, says Dale. A few clicks later, we find a how-to site about petitions. A petition is a written request. People sign a petition to show that they agree with the request. Many petitions are on the internet, and some are passed around by hand.
All right, who can tell me what a petition is? Kaden, what's a petition?
A petition is writing request.
Is a writing request, right. And what was the petition that we heard about in the book that we just read? Savannah?
Lots of kids like lots of kids would like petition in the book. It's going to be online.
All right, good. All right, we're going to continue reading and flip your page. Oh, oops.
But we're reading.
Oops.
Oh, this is an hour. I can tell.
Keep it on. Okay? I show Dale a cool website, but an ad pops up. Then 4 more. Petition to sit.
Yes.
Dale and I write up the petition and make copies. Then we get our friends together and tell them about our plan. I'll help collect signatures, said Laura. Me too, adds Tony. It would be great if the park stayed open later. Mary and Pete want to help also. People have been writing petitions for thousands of years. Scientists have even found petitions in the tombs of ancient Egyptians. We all take copies and split up into teams. My parents are happy to sign. That's 2 names already, I say. This will be a snap. But Mrs. Monroe next door says, sorry kids, now isn't a good time. At the next house, Mr. Adams listens to about 1 sentence. Not interested, he mumbles. Maybe we should try some place with more people, I suggest. We try the train station. We try the supermarket, but most people are too busy to even listen to what we have to say. We all meet up at Dale's. Everybody has been unlucky. This is so annoying, I groan. There must be more people who want the park open later, says Laura. That's it, I shout. We should be talking to people at the park. Yes, everybody yells. In the 1830s, many Americans signed petitions to the U.S. government asking that slavery be stopped in the United States. We sit around Dale's kitchen table and start brainstorming. I'll bring treats to give away, says Tony. People will come for the treats, and then we'll tell them about the petition. We'll need signs too, Mary chimes in. We set up in the park early Saturday morning. The signs look great. Lots of people stop at the tables. They take treats, and most of them sign the petition. By 6 o'clock, we have 99 signatures. If we could just get 1 more, we'd have an even 100, I say. Who haven't we asked? There's always Mr. Henry, says Dale. But, good thinking, I tell him. Let's go. But, Dale repeats. I lead the way to Mr. Henry's house. Dale gulps and presses the bell. Mr. Henry opens the door. Hi, Dale starts. Well, we were wondering if maybe you would sign our petition to keep the park open later. Every American has the right to petition the government. This right is guaranteed by the First Amendment to the Constitution.
All right, let's see. Marissa, can you tell me what their petition is? What are they going around to the park, trying to get people to sign?
Their petition to keep the park open later.
Good. And what did they do? Can you tell me what they did to get more people to sign it?
They made signs and boxes and said, treats.
They made signs in what?
Put treats down.
And had treats? Good. And they thought that that would get more people to sign their petition, right?
The park hours are just fine, Mr. Henry growls. He starts to close the door. Wait, I call out. Mr. Henry, you're always complaining that we make too much noise, so maybe you should help us do something about it. Oh, really? Like what? He snaps. You could sign our petition, I reply. If the park's open later, we can stay there instead of playing in the street. Just when I'm ready to give up, Mr. Henry smiles. You actually have a point there, son, he says. Tell you what, I'll sign your petition. I'll even get some folks in my writing group to sign it too. You're a writer? I ask. Sure, that's why I need quiet. We end up with 108 names. I hope that's enough, I say. The meeting is tomorrow. I'm very nervous on the night of the meeting. Carl's petition is going to the town council, a part of the government. But lots of petitions go to businesses and organizations, from movie studios to sports teams to stores. The council is sitting in front of the room. First, a lady stands up and tells them that dog licenses are too expensive. Next, a man talks about putting a traffic light on Elm Street. Then it's my turn. Good luck, whispers Dale. My friends and I love the park, I say, but it closes at 5 p.m., and that's way too early. I hold up. The petition. All the people who signed this want the park to stay open later. I don't know, says the man with the mustache. Is it a good idea to have kids playing in the park after 5? It's better than having them run around in the street, a lady in the audience replies. That's when I notice Mr. Henry. We do play outside in the street when the park closes, I say. Sometimes the noise bothers our neighbors. I grin at Mr. Henry. Keeping the park open later would solve that problem too. Mr. Henry smiles, but the council members are still disagreeing.
All right, Max, can you tell me why Mr. Henry doesn't want the kids playing in the street?
Because he's writing and he wants peace and quiet.
Right, he's a writer and he wants peace and quiet. So, Julia, why is that important? Why is it important that the students don't play in the street?
Because then they won't get hurt.
They won't get hurt. And what about Mr. Henry?
He can write more stuff and not have to stop in 5 minutes and he can just write again.
Good.
What if they say no? It's time for the vote. I hold my breath. All in favor of keeping the park open until sundown? Asks the lady with glasses. One by one, the council members raise their hands. I can hardly believe it. Our petition worked. Everybody claps and cheers. Lots of real-life kids have started petitions. One second grade class even wrote a petition that made the ladybug the official state insect of Massachusetts. Dale gives me a high five. We did it, he says. And the best part is, now you'll have one less thing to complain about. Was my complaining really that bad, I ask. Yup, Dale laughs. It was. I know, I say with a grin. Really annoying.
All right, good.
Yeah.
So, now I want you all to look on page 248 at the Think Critically questions. And Severin, can you read number 1 to the class, please?
How was Carl a good community member? How can you be a good community member as Carl?
All right, so let's answer that first question. The first question is, how is Carl a good community member? Jalissa, can you answer that question? How is Carl a good community member? No, we're raising our hands. So Jalissa's answering right now.
Because he got everybody to sign his papers.
He got everybody to sign his papers, but what was the paper that he was signing? Or that people were signing?
A petition to leave the park open from sundown.
Right, and if they got the park open later, what would they not do anymore? Marissa? They wouldn't play in the street anymore, right? So that helps solve a lot of problems in the neighborhood. And then the second question, how can you be a good community member as Carl was? Francis, how can you be a good community member? What can you do in your community? Can someone help Francis out? Kaden?
By not playing in the street
By not playing in the street,
and don't disturb others.
not disturbing others. Brian, what's some other things you can do to be a good community member? Max, can you help Brian out? What are some other things that you can do to be a good community member? How about picking up garbage on the side of the road if we see it and throwing the garbage away where it should go? That's a good thing to do, right, in your neighborhood? All right, Malik, can you read number 2 for us, please?
Why do you think the author wrote about petitions?
All right, so why do we think the author wrote about petitions? Dalen, why do we think the author wrote about petitions? Nice and loud so everyone can hear you. Why did the author write about petitions? other people can write their own and help the community, is that what you said? Yeah, that could be a reason. What else could you be writing, what else could you be writing about petitions, Kate? How about to inform us of what a petition is? Did we know what a petition was before we read this story?
Yes.
You did?
No. Yes.
Well, if you did, it was because you read this story, right? All right, let's read number 3. Julia, read number 3 for us.
Why does Mr. Henry decide to sign the petition on page 242?
So let's flip back to page 242. Hannah, why did Mr. Henry decide to sign the petition? What was the reason on page 242?
He made quiet and I think when he was reading writing, so if they were all at work, he'll have more time to write.
Right, Hannah said because he needs to write, and if the kids are at the park, then they won't be outside his door, and he'll have more time to write because he won't be yelling at them anymore. Good, let's flip back to the questions. And Jaden, can you read us question number 4?
What do you see when you read about the part where Carl and his friend play?
Okay, so what do we see when we read about Carl and his friends play? Jordan, can you answer number 4 for us?
What do you
No, can you answer it? Jaden just read it for us. Flip back in the book. Everybody can flip back in the book. Look at the park. What do we learn about the park? Malik, flip back in the book and look for the park. Next, look for the book. Or look for the park in the book.
The park? The park's not in the book.
Yes, it is.
Page
39.
239. Jordan, what do you see about the park? What do we learn about the park? What do you see that's going on in the park? Say it nice and loud. I can't hear you. There's signs. Oh, they're signing the papers. Good. Marissa, what else do you see? They put up signs and they have treats. Good. And Kaden, what else do you see?
Balloons
Balloons.
and people.
So what is it safe to say about the park? What do you think is happening at the park? Savannah? Would you say it's a really busy park, or would you say there's not very many people at the park? It's busy? How do we know it's busy? By looking at the picture. There's lots of people, right. Okay, let's go. Back to the questions. I'm gonna need everyone to take out their reading journals. Open up to your next blank page. Keep your books open. Flip back to the questions on page 248. Open your books to 248. Pull out your reading journals. Here, you get your journal. Open your book. Keep your books open. Page 248. This does not require any talking. You should have your journal out on your desk, open to your next blank page, and the book open to page 248, and looking at question number 5. No, yes, the book we were just reading is reading journal, and your tablet needs to be open to page 248. Thank you, Marissa and Francis, for doing a great job. Savannah also did a great job following directions. Malik did a great job. Paige. All right. Looks like everyone's there, or just Ryan, can you read us number 5? Everyone should be listening.
Look back.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Back up. Page 436. What does the person ask for? Use
Evidence.
evidence to support your
Good. So what I want you guys to do is answer number 5 on your own independently. Again, number 5 says look back at page 236. So what's the first thing we should do?
Go to
Go to page 236. Once you're there, you're going to look at the petition. Hold on 1 second. You're going to look at the petition and you're going to see what it asks for. And you're going to use evidence to support your answer, okay? I want you to write me 3 sentences in your reading journal independently answering this question. This doesn't require any talking. Should take about 5 minutes.
Oh, man, we're not gonna do that. What are we supposed to do?
On page 248, you're going to do number 5 on your own. Brian, we're writing. Your journal should be on your desk. Aiden, what are you doing, bud? You're answering the question we got. So you're looking at page 236. It's asking what does the petition ask for? Use evidence to support your answer. So go ahead. 236.
360.
What's the question? For answer number 5. Number 5. It says look back at page 236. What does the petition ask for? Should be on your next blank page. Here, answer number 5. Somebody down. Julia, what are you doing? Answer number 5. Look back at page 236. What does the petition ask for? Use evidence to support your answer. Right. 3 sentences. Boys. How do you sharpen? Malik, turn around, please. Because what? Because Malik took yours? Okay, well, this means you can take his pencil.
No,
This is
Star
yours?
Wars one.
Oh,
My Star Wars one.
okay. Well, we'll do that in a second. I want you to write it into the question first. Jaden. Should be answering the question. Write in 3 sentences. You don't need that. It's okay. We're not doing that right now. You need to answer the question. Don't worry about it, Jaden. We're doing something else. Okay, we need to get your reading one and answer number 5. Yes, you do. Find your reading one. Two more minutes, and then we're going to share with everyone what you wrote. This is the petition on page 236.
I don't know what to do.
your thoughts? If not, you should be finished with your pencil down, looking up, so I know you're ready.
I did.
Princess, can you share with us what you wrote? That's what the petition asked for? Good. But the question asked to use evidence to support your answer, so I want you to go back and use some evidence. Max, can you share with us what you wrote? It's okay. Read us what you wrote down. What'd you write on your paper? Oh, did you just write what the petition said? So, can you summarize to me what the petition's asking?
Read the following common.
No, just tell me, don't read it word for word. What is it asking for? What was their goal of the petition?
The park to stay open more longer.
The park to stay open later. So everyone on their paper, I want everyone to look down. Do you have something written down about how they want the park to stay open later?
No, I don't have it.
Does that answer the question, Julia?
No.
What's the question?
I don't have any. I don't know it.
Okay, well, let's read the question one more time. Jordan, read the question for everybody.
Look back at page 236. What does the petition ask for users to support your answer?
Okay, so what's the first thing we should do? Go to page 236, right? Once we're there, let's look for the petition. When you find the petition, put your finger on it. When you find the petition, put your finger on it. Brian, when you find the petition, put your finger on it. On page 236. Once you're there, I want you to read the petition silently to yourself. You should be reading the petition on page 236 to yourself. To yourself. That's the petition. Once you've read the petition to yourself, I now want you to write in 3 sentences using evidence from page 236 what the petition is asking. You can do it. You wrote what the petition wants.
Oh, I can't write.
Why?
My finger. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
It hurts when I use the pencil.
Alright, well you did a good job, Max. You did it right.
I'm not writing.
Supposed to do it every night. You made it right here. So yeah, you just did it once. You make it over 90.
Move your hands like read it.
Over 90, you only have to do it in one time. Okay. Don't do it 4
It's
times
not a
right in a
better
row.
way to use my pencil now.
Good practice.
This is one long for teaching you to separate it into more than once a month.
But you made it over 90 already.
Brian, what'd you
So
write?
you do it one more.
Petition. I'm gonna write what the petition is asking. Not word for word, summarize it. What was the petition? What do they want? To keep the park open late? Okay, so right. Cade, can you share with the class what you wrote? Everyone listen to Cade so you can understand what yours should look like.
The petition asked for the park. For the park to stay open until they think 5 o'clock is too late for the park to close.
Good job. So the petition asked for the park to to stay open later, and we know that because we read it on page 236. So that's what your answer should be. Alright, go ahead, close your journals and close your books.
I don't get it.